comes a new challenger.
Give me that drama, give me that grime. Are y'all ready? It's fight night time! The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Hits back with a well-placed drive reversal. The throw hits, now the fun begins. Steps in for the throw. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. A big drive gauge disparity has opened up, and it wouldn't surprise me if they try to open that gap further. If the drive gauge is completely empty, the player will enter burnout and won't be able to use drive for a period of time, so it's vital to not let that happen. Perfect time to spend the meter. Not shy with the grab. Gets some. Player one hits them the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Decides to create some distance to start. Throws them. What's next? Charges forward. Blocks the impact. Uses the impact to shave off some of their drive gauge. Pushes out of the corner with a drive reversal. Tries to bait out a reaction to a fireball. Fires without warning. Player one will look to apply hits them with a stop and pop. They choose to spend the meter to up the damage by a bit. Pumps the brakes on the impact. Oh, what's this? Good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. Time to reassess the situation. Forward throw, laying the pressure on Finn. The drive impact doesn't work. Yoga fire. Player what a finish. Player one brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak. Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close to done yet. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Utilizes an overdrive art there to tack on just a little more damage. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. They trade hits. And now the fighters are hold your breath. The move whips and they get nailed with a punish counter. Taking stock. Timely side switch there, which will let him go on the attack. Keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Experiencing burnout. Gets them. Player two on the board first with a win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Looks like they want to establish a rhythm with their ground game and fireball. Spends the gauge for the drive reversal. That parry may be just the catalyst they need. Amazing read to flash the parry just in time to catch the attack. Player one will look to apply pressure here. Super on deck for both fighters. Expect to see some fireworks. Player two will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Drive gauge gap here. Burnout activates. They can't squander this punish counter in there. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Opts to create space to start. It's time for both fighters to lay it all on the line. Chases them down. Player one needs the perfect execution with the anti-air. They just said, get that jumping out of here. Connects with the throw. With two pumps the brakes on the impact. Locks on for the throw. That's gonna leave him rattled. Player one, huge chance after that wall slap. Turning it right up with the super. Yo, the special forces don't play. Delta Red Assault. Player two, yo, critical art now? Just what they were after. Woo, I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell them what's good. It's not over yet. Just believe it's time for that run back. That's a counter. Long low attack hit. Uses a long range attack there to zone them perfectly. Goes for the fireball. Player two has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? Gets back with a well-placed drive reversal. Throws him down. What's the play here? Player two is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. They trade hits, and now this is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Player 2 is working with a less than ideal drive gauge. Down to the wire. Player 1 creates a good corner opportunity. Burns them up. Player 2 is gonna have to... This is a huge chance to make him feel it. Who will capitalize on an opening first? Player 1 will have to fight KO! Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Blocks it. Gets the jump in. Oh! Goes it. Were they baiting them into that? Amazing concentration on display as they punished when their opponent's attack left them wide open. Now, can they finish the job? Brushes that off and keeps going. Good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. A quick breather. Player 1 needs to use the... This is gonna be bad news. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. This could be over. Fatal leg twister. Oh, burnout triggered. Player 1 digs in deep to get that drive in. Player 2 KO. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Decide tries to act quickly, but with the attack. Chases them down. Catches them out. Up for the arrows. Player 1 throws that on. There's a burnout. Player 2 is in burnout state. A very precarious situation. This is where we can expect some major pressure. Get your plates ready. Damage is on the menu. Player 1 has the super gauge advantage. No! Stunned off the wall! Throws them. Player 1 can't win. They pick this time to watch this out. This is going to hit for a critical art. You gotta imagine that this is not only gonna wreck their life bar, but also their nerves. Immaculate counter! Player 1 was definitely...
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who is going to come out on top in this fight?
Round 1. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Those aren't working here. These two fighters are perfectly synced. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Trips them up. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Player 1 is in burnout. Drives off the table. Adds on a bit extra to that to make sure the opponent walks away with a full plate. A throw to tie the bow. They were stuck in the corner. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on.
Round 2. Fight.
Yoga Flame. Fireball from very long range. What's next for you? Picks the drive reversal. Burns them up. The load doesn't connect. Brushes that off and keeps going. Were they baiting them into that? It's back with the drive impact on the recovery. This punish counter presents a huge chance. Player 1 is dominating this match. Takes in the throw. We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Locks them down with the arch. Escapes with the reversal. Drop reversal. Earns a breather to reset the situation. Player 1 connects with the throw. Amazing. Burn out, but they may have a plan here. Player 1, low heavy. Ooh, nothing stops this train. Draw super art incoming. Okay. Ooh, the drive impact hit for a punish. Okay, a back throw for damage and vital positioning. They can't. What a sick counter. It's like they knew exactly what was gonna happen.
Cammy wins.
Woo! I dare you to find me a better match than that.
comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Throws him down. Lots of aggression from both sides. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Was well in range to score the throw. Goes for the throw. All right. Coming through. Player one chases them down. Just out of range for that throw. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Beautiful setup with that attack. Takes a trip. Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Near the end of the round, will the drive gauge pave the way to victory? Hanging on for dear life. The engagement here will have a huge effect on the rest of the match. So, what's next? Gotta be careful not to whip at this range. In there! Player two picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Can't tech the throw. Jumps in. Yoga fire there. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. Sees it coming and blocks it out. You can block impacts, but you're gonna lose some drive gauge when you do. Took him to the corner and a flash. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. Player two will have to deal with this dangerous bout of burnout for a while. Out of drive gauge. Now's the time. Player two brushes that off and keeps going. Full SA meters on deck for both sides. A super art? Player one will look to apply pressure here. Level 3 super! Spending that meter like it's nobody's business. Knockdown and... Comet to make something happen! That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Not much movement, but the thinking caps are definitely on. Crowns them from above! Oh my god, they just choked it up! What a finish! Player two brings it home. Let's see if they can...
Here comes a new challenger.
Two of the biggest lab monsters are about to get it going.
Nowhere to run.
Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Waiting for the opponent to make the first move. Checking how their opponent reacts to fireball. Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. A dangerous range here. You don't want to get jumped on a long recovery move or you're going to eat tons of damage. Player one pushes the opponent into the corner. What are they thinking here? They're being absolutely relentless with this fireball pressure in the corner. Sticks the combo. Was looking for that jump attack. Drive reversals for KO. Player one takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Jumps in. Burns them up. Zones with the fireball. Fireballs are risky, but if the opponent doesn't jump, they're one of the best ground game tools. Teleports. That's gonna rattle them. Pro connection does big damage. This is a turning point. They gotta turn it around. The light lead burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Gets the combo. Barely reversal. Hold your breath. Their spacing is so on point, like, just goes for it at this range. Are we gonna see a comeback here? Lays down a Sai Hasho. Lets off a Yoga Fire. Breaks through with the throw. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Yoga fire. Final round. Gotta do better than that. Reversal. Looks like they want to put a new spin on things with that fireball. Impact squash. Uses the impact to shave off some of their drive gauge. Tap them on the zone. Their drive is looking to take the win here. Oh, sets up with the jump in. The stun. Is it gonna be over? What's next? Yo, critical art. What a finish. Gotta hand it to both of our fighters. They put on a real clinic for us.
Here comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. All right, first round. What's going to happen? Drive reversal to break in. Wants the reset enough to burn some drive gauge. Player 2 with the life lead. Okay, both fighters have taken a long step back. They're both looking to reassess the fight. Goes for a drive rush. They're looking to keep on the offensive for as long as possible. Got their eye on the air. Takes a trip. Ends the round with a punish counter. Living in the opponent's head rent-free right now. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Uses the parry. Mistimed the perfect parry, but is still safe. Player 1 chases them down. Rushes that off and keeps going. Back throw for the side switch. Slugging it out for control of the corner. They decide to take a breather to regroup. Good chance here to recover the drive gauge or figure out the next step. Jumps up, knockdown, and picks up the counter. This is going to be huge. Teleport. That's gonna rattle him. Drive reversal. Earns a breather to reset the situation. Both fighters have a full super meter, looking to impress with this super. Uses the gauge for the super. They're not playing around here. Player 1 needs to use their SA gauge to their advantage. Springs forward with the drive rush. Both sides getting ready. Walks up with the devil song. What'll be the plan here? Drink level max out. This drops them. Player 1 can't afford mistakes without that drive gauge. Tons of space between the fighters now. What are they cooking up? Gonna mix them up with the arts? Yoga floats to mess with their head. Flatlines them. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build.
Comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of.
Round 1. Fight.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Whoa, hold on. The move whips, and they get nailed with a punish counter. Gets through the opening. Blocks the jump in, trips him up. Okay, both fighters have taken a long step back. They're both looking to reassess the fight. Player 2 with the life lead. Sees it coming and blocks it out. They trade. Spends the gauge for the drive reversal. Intercepts. Slick anti-air finish. Player 2 sets the tone with that win. Let's see if they can keep it up. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until Nick brushes that off and keeps going? They quickly get back into the corner of the stage. Chases them into the corner and will now look to do some damage. There's a change of sides. Nice counter. Sends a clear message with that counter. Flies in with a fist to keep the pressure on. Player one, burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Player one hits him with a stop and block. Matt picks a good spot to use the super. Noticeable life lead, low heavy. Both absolutely perfect execution with the anti-air. Player one can't afford mistakes without that drive gauge. They gotta dig down deep here. Bringa! Drive impact misses! Player one, what a finish! This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. The low block! Dashes up. Shoots their shot! There's a drive impact! Carried to the corner. This may be bad news. Oh, here we go. Super armor. Cold and calculated. All the throw connects. Flatline zone. Player one faced the giant and walks away.
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Round one.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Hits back with a well-placed drive reversal. Wants the reset enough to burn some drive gauge. No good up high. Player one will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Tries to get a breather with a projectile, trying to control their opponent here from a distance. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Takes a trip. Player two chases them down. All right, what's coming up next? Gets them. Player two picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Steps back to start things off. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Player two kept their drive gauge topped off through that round and still took the win. Guess they didn't need it. The cyclone hit. Now we gotta see. Uses the gauge for a super art. Knockdown and hits them with a stop and pop. Burns them up. Player one will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. Jumps. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Tempest for the press bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Player two will look to apply draw critical. What's gonna happen? Gets the counter hit for the win. They're so good at whiff punishing. Player two.
Here comes a new challenger.
Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
The top player is heat.
Round one.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Gets back with a well-placed drive reversal. Drive reversal to break in. Wants the reset enough to burn some drive gauge. The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Player two chases them down. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. Blocks the jump in. Takes a trip. Feeling out the spacing. The jump in is denied. So they break forward to pressure the opponent. Holds out with the block. Taking stock. Burnout is triggered. Trying to read each other here? The drink level's at 4. All inhibitions are out the window. Long low attack hits. Heading into the end game now. It's getting tense. The pressure is so snipes them out the air. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Goes for the rush down to start. They're on a mission. Decides to buff up while they can. Drive rush. Gets in their face. The properties that attacks get from a drive rush make them a great tool for creating chances like that. The drink level's up to 4. All options are on the table. Looking for a chance. Clutch springs forward with the drive rush. Closes the distance. Player 1 has an empty drive gauge. This is experiencing burnout. Both sides in burnout. They can't drive. Going in. Ooh, there's a side switch. This could be big. Super Art on deck for both fighters. Will this Super Art do anything? Hits him with his free flow. Drive rush. Closes it out. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this one. Backdash to start. They're not taking it. Gets him with a Euro step. Nothing stops this train. The match just started. It's anyone's game. Player 2 will look to apply pressure here. Oh, reversal! Player 1 needs to take advantage of this gauge disparity. This is gonna hurt. Player's anti-air in the clutch. The low. Amazing. They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A knockdown. Here comes the mix-up. They're recovered. This can lead to some big damage. Drive rush. Gotta do better than that. Yoga fire to turn up the reversal. Yoga fire. Solid anti-air. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Even the snow heavy out of nowhere. I've seen a lot of fights in my day, but nothing even comes close to this one. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Getting tipsy with the devil inside. That's some big, good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. Player 2 chases them down. Buys some time by driving them into the corner. And now they can create some big chances to do damage here. That was a solid anti-air. Wow, shut down. Player 1 needs to use what little drive they have left effectively. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Player 1 is gonna have to wait for that drive gauge. Can they stick it out? They need to rely on their Who saw that coming? Talk about a comeback. Player 1 picks up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. Jumps up, gets the parry in, and adds some pressure. Was looking smart play to stop the opponent. Player 2 has the life lead. Can they use it? What'll happen here? Brushes that off and keeps going. Denies the jump in. Nice counter. Uses the fireball to try and get a reaction. Both fighters planning something? They decide to take a breather to regroup. Gets out of that jam with a perfect parry. Free flow strike! KO! We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? Take solid anti-air. Gets him with a Euro step. Gets the cap. This is gonna be bad news. That's how you force your opponent to do what you want so you can get a punish. Player 2 crowns him from above. Ooh, you never forward rush. Closes the distance. Confirm on the merciless yoga. No holding back. Dawson getting real serious with him. What now? Dangerous range here. Drive rush. Clutch plus anti-air. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? What'll be the plan here? What a finish! Player 2 was an absolute beast in that match.
Special match. comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are pumping themselves up and are raring to go. Who's going to come out on top in this fight?
Shall we begin?
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Whoa, hold on. Starts off zoning with fireballs. Player one with the life lead. They've got a small life lead, but it's not over. Stands firm and blocks the drive impact. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Oh, whiffs the drive impact. You do not want to whiff an impact. A little too greedy there. Checks him with the projectile. Player two will have to fight back here without any drive. Both can end the round now, and the drive gauge display takes a big gamble and rips out a raw super. Player one is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Got their eye on the air. One chance here may end this match. Both fighters planning something? Let's off a Yoga Fire. Not much life left. KO. Player two takes the round like a thief in the night. What else can they get away with? Are we going to see some fireworks here? Jumps up. Yoga Fire there. Brushes that off and keeps going. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Player two can't let their drive gauge run out. They need to find a way to reset the situation. This is gonna be bad news. They continue to battle it out in the middle of the stage. Their will to win is really being tested here. Blocks it. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juice in there. Last round, people. Both fighters gotta go all in from this point. Jumps. Locks them down with the arc, brushes that off and keeps going. Which uses the gauge for a super arc. Goes for the super arc early to try and escape. Bends the meter, hoping for a good return. Oh no, they set him up so dirty. Player one is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. What separates the good from the great in this game is smart gauge management. Right, there's the burnout. Uh-oh, this could really tip the scales. Dangerous range here. Big time whip. Big pack your bags. We're going to Siberia. Okay, here we go. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? I can't believe. Oh my God, lost super. No one could have called that. Player two clinches the win. But that could have been anyone's game. No way we could have called that.
Comes a new challenger.
Oh, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Show me everything you. Round one. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Gets a good read on their opponent. Gets through the opening. Goes for the fireball. The drive impact nets them a sweet punish counter. Knockdown. Player one has been really leaning on that drive gauge. If the drive gauge is completely empty, the player will enter burnout and won't be able to use drive for a period of time, so it's vital to not let that happen. Player 1 doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Goes for the super art? They're barely hanging in there. And that's a KO. Timed that perfectly. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Picks the drive reversal. Gets the parry in. And adds some hits him with a stop and boss. This is gonna be bad news. It's back with the drive impact on the recovery. This punish counter presents a huge chance. You've gotta be mindful of reach and jump-ins at this range. Do they have enough drive gauge? Experiencing burnout. Knockdown and keeps them guessing with a yoga arch. Gets out of there with the backdash. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean. Taking no prisoners. Player 2 took no time to finish that fight.
Here comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
Shall we begin?
Round 1. Fight.
Here we go. What are these fighters going to do? Ooh, what's this? Both fighters have plenty of health. Where is this match gonna go? How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Okay, both fighters have taken a long step back. They're both looking to reassess the fight. The fighters take a step back to reassess. Time for a new game plan. Player 1 pushes the... Will this super art connect? Parries the projectile. It's not easy to parry projectiles in the heat of a match, but it's definitely effective. Big, low, reaching heavy. Uses a long-range attack there to zone them perfectly. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Burnout is triggered. Drilling time! Lets the Yoga Inferno rip! Going in? Player 1 might have just shifted this round. They were not cleared for takeoff. Player 1 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Yoga teleport! Where is he going? This round is so important. You can feel the intensity in the air. Cool gain control of the match in the early going. Player 1 experiencing burnout. They've been pushed into the wall and the stun's there. Player 2, boom, there's the wall splash. They can't do anything now. Forcing them to block the drive impact near the corner is a very smart play on their part. Player 2 has a slight life lead. There's been some back and forth, but no one has dominated the fight. Player 1 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Hits him with a stop and buy. Quick breather. Player 2, solid anti-air. There's the impact. Not letting that go unpunished. Bringing the hot fire. Noticeable tries to act, closes it out. Player 1 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a streak.
comes a new challenger.
How's this match gonna shake out? It's gonna be exciting to see.
Let's get this mission started. Round one.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Waiting for the opponent to make the first move. Tries to bait him with the projectile. Not much damage dealt so far, but they may be looking for an opening to run with. How are they going to deal damage? What's the play here? Neither fighter can force the other to give up even an inch. The combo's there. Decent damage. What's next? That drive impact is blocked. Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with Fireball. Throws out the Fireball to check him. They decide to hang back and rethink their game plan. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a Fireball. Misses the drive impact. Down to the wire. Life lead opens up. Can't tech the throw, experiencing burnout. The pressure is so intense here. Scrapping it out up close. Yoga fire there. Player one has depleted their drive gauge, but they are still within range to win this round. Who will KO? Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Uses the Fireball to try and establish their pace, checking to see how the opponent reacts to long-range fireballs. This is a clear sign that they're testing their opponent's knowledge and game plan. They're not afraid to let the overdrive art fly, even when their drive gauge isn't topped off. Hits them with a stop and bop. The engagement here will have a huge effect on the rest of the match. A quick breather. Full SA meters on deck for both. Burnout! Expect the tempo of the match to change. Looking for a chance. Experiencing burnout. Both fighters planning something? Low heavy. We're genius read with that throw escape. What's next? Player one is in a very good spot. Yo, critical art now? Player one, they couldn't tech the throw. Player one is a force to be reckoned with. It's not over yet. Best believe it's time for that run back. Ooh, it looks like they're waiting to see what the opponent wants to do first. Fireball from very long range. What's next here? Denying them a breather there with a long-range fireball. The move whips and they get nailed with a punish counter. Trips them up. Starts with a jump in. You can open up chances to do big damage by baiting something out, getting that opening, and then jumping in. Player one chases them down. Takes a trip. Nice drive impact sends them connecting to Heaven's Wi-Fi. Good sense to let it rip. Player one on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Throws out a projectile. Looks like they want to re-establish their game plan with Fireballs. Who will gain control of the match down to the wire. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Player two doesn't have a lot of drive gauge to play with. Not a good thing. Oh, can they survive this badly timed burnout? Goes for the rush. Barely blocks the jump in. There's a wall splat. They can't do anything now. Player one will hit them with a stop and pop. Yoga Flame looking to impress with this super. Oh, get ready. Gotham's taking the yoga lesson to new levels of pain. They're really gonna feel this in the morning. You've gotta be mindful of reaching jump-ins at this range. Solid anti-air. Player one has the deck stacked against them. Can they squeeze out the throw? Is denied. Sonic Boom closes it out. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Backdash to start. They're not taking any chances. Oh, what's this? Were they baiting them into that? It's back with the drive impact on the recovery. This punish counter presents a huge chance. Quick medium poke. Target combo into getting it all on the drive rush. Both sides getting ready. Not going we gonna see a jump in? A dash? Look, the low! Oh, here we go! Are they going to...
Impact counter! Oh, that's so sick! It is over! That was catch as catch can as you're gonna...
Here comes a new challenger.
Our fighters are ready to get down to it, so let's start the match and see what these warriors are capable of.
I'll take on all of you.
Round one.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? Gets a chance with that jumping. The move whiffs and they get nailed with a punish counter. What's the play here? Player one has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? They're at the center of the stage. What happens here will have consequences later on. Knockdown. Misses the drive impact. In a dive.
Were they baiting them into that?
Neither of them willing to back off. Target locked and scoop. Reads them. They meet.
Burnout activate.
They were not cleared for takeoff. Player one with a big first round pickup. Can they close it out? Reads the command grab. Rushes that off and keeps going. There's the drive impact that's going to lead to a juicy punish counter. Punish is there with the drive impact. Really laying on the pressure. Max SA gauge. Oh, burnout triggered.
Just goes for it at this range.
The super hits, and this looks like it's gonna kill. It's too much. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Reads the jump in perfectly.
The overhead denied.
Player one with the lead. Will they go for offense or defense? This can lead to some big damage.
Pack your bags. We're going to Siberia.
Raw super art incoming. Excellent read.
That's gonna leave them rattled.
A real test of nerves here.
Player courageous grab. They are done. Ooh, I dare you to find me a better match than that. Get up and tell him what's good.
Here comes a new challenger.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake here. Both fighters will need to bring their A game to the table. Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. They're not going to allow any jump-ins. Solid anti-air will shut down the opponent's air game and make it much harder to jump in. Player one has the life lead. Can they exploit this advantage? The fighters are at a standstill. What's going on through their heads? With the life gap opening up, they need to lean hard on their drive usage. Throws out a projectile. Feeling out the spacing. Time's the only thing moving here. Trying to read each other here? A comeback's gonna be tough now. Can they do it? Who's going to break the silence first? Plenty of space between the fighters. What will be their approach? Player two can't afford to get hit again, but still has a chance to take the round if they can find openings to use their drive. Big gap between the two fighters, so they throw out a fireball. Feeling out the spacing.
Online. Casual match. Here comes a new challenger.
Ho, looks like these two have more beef than a Philly cheesesteak.
Shall we begin?
Simple and clean.
Round one. Fight.
Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. waiting for the opponent to make the first move, checking how their opponent reacts to Fireball, denying them a breather there with a long-range Fireball. What are these fighters thinking now? Who's gonna make a move? Both sides have full drive and plenty of health. Let's see how things open up. Looking for a way to incorporate their drive. Who's going to break the silence first? Neither fighter can force the other to give up even an inch. Super Meter is looking bare right now. Will they try to hang back to stock up or continue fighting? Gaining some meter would open up the opportunity to deal huge damage, but that's easier said than done. Player 2 in that dangerous burnout state. They need to hold out. Player 2 has used up all of their drive gauge into the latter half of the round. How will both competitors use this remaining time? Neither fighter is willing to back down from this exchange. This is the range where things get messy. Can they utilize their reach or bait each other out? Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Taking stock. Anything could happen here. Gets out of there with the backdash. Lays down a whirlwind. Only 20 more seconds. What's it experiencing burnout? Player 2 can't afford to pay. Oh. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. Checking their reactions with a Fireball? They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Both sides reluctant to get in each other's faces, but who will seize control this round? Hold your breath. Good heads-up decision opting for the drive impact. Player 2 is in burnout. Drives off the table. What'll happen here? Risky up-close scrap still going. Lays down a whirlwind. Long-range Fireball to break the silence. Fires without warning. Charges forward. Delivers the pain right to their doorstep. Going in. Noticeable life lead. Is a comeback still possible? Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start and whip. They're wide open. Scrambling, burn out, but they may have a plan here. The low kick hits. Yo, critical art chips them for the win. Here's the final round. The real fight starts now. Yoga Fire just throws that off. Throws him. Grabs and throws him away. Keeps them guessing with the charges forward. Which connects with the throw. Player 2 has the super gauge advantage. The drive impact doesn't work. Uses the impact to shave off some of their drive gauge. Absolutely relentless. Ooh, what a smart throw. What's next? Were they looking to connect with an overdrive arch from this situation? Yoga Arch! They got something in mind! This is burnout, but they may have a plan here. Reed tries to act quickly, but whiffs the attack. Whirlwind shot. Great job. It is over! That was catch as catch can, as you're gonna get in a fight.